Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy if you think you know an answer. Put it in the chat, and when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we could all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of a common phrase or an idiom, part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go. So I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion. So put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoyed this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready because we are going to start soon. Hello, hello. I think I'm here. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. My name is Axel, if you don't already know. I'm sure you know now after having seen my video. Alright, so trying this again tonight. I do like doing evening streams, so I'm hoping evening streams become popular because I am definitely more of an evening person. I'm not so much of a morning person. We're going to check out this crossword today. This is actually today's crossword. The one that I looked at earlier today was actually yesterday's crossword. This is officially today's crossword. So we're going to go through, we're going to do this one together live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. So you are welcome to play at any one of those locations. I just lost the Twitch chat. No, I didn't. Yes. Okay, I found it. Anyways, yeah, so I see the chats on from all three of those places, so you're more than welcome to play at any of those locations. Don't be shy. I love when people play. And yeah, the more you help, the faster we will get through this together. So just making sure this is set up right. I think you can see everything. Right, and let's get to it. All right, so which one should we look at first? Oh, feel free to say hello as well. I hope you guys are doing really well. All right, so what do we have here? So we have out of the park hits. We have sandwich meat as well. Hooded jacket. Computer need. Okay. Let's start with the easy one. This sandwich meat. So we know that a sandwich is a food item, right? Pretty basic thing. And usually the meat that goes inside a sandwich is already cooked, right? We typically don't put raw meat into our sandwiches. So we're looking for basically a 3-letter word for a type of meat that we might put inside of a sandwich. In fact, I feel like it might even be shown in this image here already. We can see here that this sandwich looks like it is on toasted bread. Got some lettuce, some cheese in here. And then we have this sort of this pink stuff, this pink cured meat here. I believe it comes from a sandwich meat, which comes from a pig. I believe it comes from a pig. So if you have any ideas what that type of meat is, put it in the chat. 3-letter word. Obviously pork is a 4-letter word, but we're looking for something kind of similar. Basically another name for pork. So if you think you know what it is, put it in the chat. And I will put it up here. I think you know. I recorded that little how-to video, and now I kind of miss having things to talk about at the beginning of the stream, so I'm gonna have to think about other things to talk about. Or maybe I will, if there are people in the chat, I will chat with people while waiting for the video to play. Anyways, this meat here I think is going to be ham. I'm guessing this is going to be ham. Ham is a very classic sandwich meat. Comes from pork. That is a type of meat that comes from a pig. And I think that is going to be our sandwich meat there. So let me know if you like ham sandwiches. If you're a fan of ham sandwiches. I personally am not, but I also am not I'm not really a meat eater. So let me know. May honor be early hour. So I think this one here, number 2, we're looking for, looks like we're looking for like an hour has something to do with time, right? So it looks like we want the time, I'm guessing early in the middle of the night, basically. This is a time in the middle of the night, basically, right? Because we would say that those hours between basically 12 a.m. and maybe 5 or 6 a.m. those are very early hours for us. So I am guessing that this is going to be one of those hours in between there. So if you think you have an idea which hour it might be, put it in the chat. So an hour that falls between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. I'm going to say. And we might refer to these as, yeah, early hours or the wee hours of the morning. Those are super early hours in the morning. I feel like it's gonna be a vowel here. That would make sense that there would be an H and a vowel. So not a lot of options. I like 2 wouldn't go here. 2 would be an early hour in the morning. But 2 obviously does not fit here. So I have a funny feeling that this is going to be 1 a.m. is a very early hour in the morning. So let's put that in here. 1 a.m. Be a very early hour. It's funny. One, you could consider either being early in the morning or you consider it being very late at night, right? It all depends sort of on your perspective. But I think that's the answer here. So let's do this one. An honoree. What the heck is an honoree? We can kind of see the word honor in here, right? So, and what does it mean to honor? Honor someone, or to honor someone. You know, it means to celebrate someone, right? Maybe show your appreciation of someone, right? Show your appreciation for them. So we're looking for somebody who we celebrate in the month of May. So this is someone, oops, this is someone who we celebrate in the month of May. So, big, I believe that this is a worldwide celebration. That's a really good question because I know that some of these holidays don't all fall on the same day all around the world. So that's a good question. But in at least here, this is an American, so in the US, here in Canada, and many other countries, there is one specific person that gets honored in May. I'll give you a hint. It is a parent. We honor one of our parents during the month of May, right? So maybe your father, for example, or your mother, right? So we're looking for a 3-letter word, basically, for one of those people who we would celebrate during the month of May. So if you think you know what it is, or if you want to take a guess, let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll give you guys a second. And now I'm curious, because I actually do think that this is different depending on where we are at. Around the world. Yeah, because I think it might be different. Maybe not. Yeah, I think that... Yeah, it's on different days around the world. Okay, so I was right about that. Anyways, but this answer here, this is going to be Mom, is Mother's Day. In, at least here in Canada and the US. Let me know when Mother's Day is in your country. Is it in May? Or is it in a different month? Please do let me know, because it looks like in some countries it's in April, some countries it's in October, some countries have it in March, so it kind of varies, but the majority of countries in the world celebrate it in May. Oh yeah, there's a December, February, so very interesting. Yeah, so please let me know, when is Mother's Day in your country? Yeah. All right, super cool. I love discovering new things about other countries. Okay, what else are we gonna be able to do here? Let's talk about computer parts. Maybe this computer need. Computer need. So basically something that a computer needs in order to function. I'm just double checking that you can see everything. Yes, so something that a computer needs in order to function. So a computer part, basically, right? We're looking for. We can see here that we have an MEM. I don't know if there's any computer people here in the chat, but there are definitely a few very important components that go inside a computer, right? There's like the CPU, right? Which I believe is kind of like the heart of the computer, sort of gives it life. And then you have the motherboard, right? So there's that, right? RAM is another kind of really important thing as well. That kind of determines, what does RAM do? I think that has to do with how helps your computer process information faster. So the more RAM you have, the faster it goes, right? There's also the there's the graphics card as well. And then you get like these little green sticks that go inside of the computer. Oh, that's funny. I'm only getting there can also be these things that go into the phones as well too, and that is what is coming up. I'm trying to find a picture for the computer. Oh. Gosh. I'm not having a very good luck here. Anyways. One important thing, right? Because you need to be able to store information and things like that. I think memory is going to be a computer part. And let's see, yeah, memory card for a computer. And let's, there it is. There is a picture that I was looking for. Gosh. What are these guys? Yeah, it gave me pictures of everything else except for one of these guys. Anyways, memory. These are sticks of memory that go into the computer. And that's kind of really important for us too. So let's put memory in here and see what else we can figure out together. I think we should be able to do this one actually as a group. So eat away. To eat away. That kind of, I mean, you could kind of imagine that this means to consume something, kind of, almost. But we might also say, like, something, you know, acid might eat away at metal. It would slowly destroy something over time. So basically, if something eats away at something, it destroys it over time. So destroy something over time. So we're kind of looking for a word that we might use for this. I'm going to try to get a picture so we can see maybe. Oh, here's kind of a good picture. Kind of describes it. So right here we can see, you know, this metal is being eaten away over time. Looks like by maybe the elements, right? Being destroyed over time. And we could also use this as well too, thinking about maybe how land gets taken away by water. So we're kind of looking for a word like that. Here, for example, check out this road here. This road here that is next to the ocean, right? And so over time, the water has slowly eaten away at this land. It has taken it away. We're looking for a word. We're looking for a verb that describes what is happening in these images here. This destruction. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's gonna start with an E. So I'm gonna put that in here. An E. You think you know what it is? Please put it in the chat. Please don't be shy. I love when people guess. Makes me very happy. I think this is gonna be erode. Erode. So erode, that is gonna be our verb, basically when something is destroyed over time. Let's get an official definition here. Yeah, maybe like to slowly reduce or destroy something over time. Or, oh, even better here. Here's a better definition. To weaken or damage something by taking, you know, the parts away over time. Right? So, all of these, both of these things are eroding, they're deteriorating over time. Here, the deteriorate, another word we can use here to describe the slow destruction of something. All right, so I'm gonna put a road in here, and let's see what else we can do. So intensify, you know, steak choice. Okay, yeah, let's do. I'm gonna do this one. So this steak choice. So steak, it's another food, right? Piece of meat, right? Steak. Usually steak refers to a piece of beef, right? Right, so I know that there were other different types of steaks and things as well too, but here I think we're talking about beef, right? So that comes from the cow, basically. I'm gonna get a picture here of a steak. Right. Here's a steak. Nice, juicy, tasty steak. And we can cook it to a variety of different levels of doneness, right? So, you can cook it for different periods of time and it will get more done depending, right? So we are looking for, well, for something sort of basically a type of doneness. So this word here we might use, this is going to be an adjective, for when a steak has not been cooked for very long. So basically the opposite of what we might call well done. So if a steak is well done, it has been cooked for a very long time. It is very cooked all the way through. Some people might consider that being too tough, too chewy, right? But if it's this one, if it's the opposite, it tends to be on the softer side, right? So whatever that might be, I want to say maybe almost like in this picture here, like where it's still pretty pink on the inside. So basically the opposite of being well done is going to be rare. So our steak is going to be rare if we have not cooked it for a very long time. Yeah, so rare, well done. You could also cook your steak to say like medium. Medium. Rare, where it's kind of just a little bit on the, I guess, like overcooked side of rare. These seem to be sort of the main ones, the main options. So let me know how you like your steak cooked, actually, if you prefer it rare or medium rare, or if you like it well done. So let me know. And I'm just gonna put this S here actually, because out of the park hits. See that there is an S here. A homer here. A homer, that is a slang. That's slang for a home run. So a home run in baseball, that's when they hit the ball out of the park, and that gives everybody on the field a time to run around the bases, basically. So you might call those homers, or short. That's a very informal way to refer to a home run. So yeah, that's handy to know if you are a baseball fan. Let's see. So hooded jacket. I just put this in here. This is an anorak. Kind of like one of these guys. Although I will be honest with you, I don't use the word anorak very often. But, or actually, I never call anything an anorak. But one of these. But here in Canada, we don't use this word that much. But that is one of these hooded jackets here. All right, let's see what else we can do here. It's a Scottish Isle. Or is it that? Yeah, I think I spelled that right. Yes. Okay. Let's maybe skip over here, maybe. Take a breather. Take a breather. So, take a breather. You can kind of see the word breath in here, right? A breath, right? Has some time to breathe, right? And notice the difference between the spelling and the pronunciation of those words. We have breath with that unvoiced TH sound, right? That's for the noun, right? Versus to breathe, the verb there with the voiced sound. So to take a breather basically means to sit back, have some time to breathe, right? You're not rushing between things. You're not focusing on your to-do or your work. You don't have a million things going on. You're going to basically take a break, is what this means. So to take a breather means to take a break. So we're basically looking for another way to say to take a break here. So we have a 4-letter word here that means to take a break. So if you think you know what that is, put it in the chat. Let me know. And I will put it up on the board. Like I said, you'll be able to play. You can play on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. They're all open, and I'm looking at the chat, so don't be shy. But yeah, another way to say to take a break, and to take a breather is a great phrase that we would use. Talk about this. It's a good one to know. A good little idiom to know. But it basically means to rest, basically, right? Rest. Right? So to rest. Similar to relax, right? Right? So you could take a rest. So let's put rest in here. Our little breather here, and see what else we have here. So we have some blasting stuff. Match. part. Do over. I looked at this a little bit today, but I did not go through the whole entire thing. Blasting stuff. I think I know what this is. This is like that powder. Kind of similar to dynamite, right? Dynamite. Basically explosives. We're looking for a type of explosive here that starts with a T. Kind of similar to this. So here we have dynamite. Type of explosive that we might use in demolitions, for example, right? And what is a demolition? If you demolish something during a demolition, that means that you maybe tear something down. So you would demolish a building, for example. You would tear down the building, and you might use various explosives like dynamite or whatever this is in order to do that. It's a very powerful yellow explosive, apparently. I did not know the color of it. But a very powerful explosive. So I think this is going to be TNT. It's going to be the name of a very common, powerful explosive that they might use for blowing things up. Also, dynamite, another very common name for an explosive. And like I said, you might use these explosives in demolitions when we might be tearing down old buildings and things like that in order to maybe build new buildings in their place. All right, what else do we have here? Match heart. Get this one. I think we could do this one though. This Genesis plot. So the Genesis is a book in the Bible, right? It's like the first book. So, and if you're wondering why I say book, the different sections of the Bible are called books in English. So Genesis is the very first book in the Bible where God created Adam and Eve, right? And they spent all of this time in a garden, basically. The spot here, that means a location. So we're looking for a location in the first book of the Bible. Basically where, I guess, Adam and Eve were, well, they were sort of kicked out of this garden, right? Isn't that how the story goes? Right? There was the tree and the apple, the tree of knowledge and the apple, and the serpent. We weren't supposed to eat the apple, and then they got kicked out of the garden. So the name of that garden, oh, let me see that there's an N in here. That's going to be the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. So I put that in here. Garden of Eden. Bride of Troy, do over. Sure. I think I know what this one is, though. This match part. We might talk about matches in sports. Okay, so a match, usually a match. A word we use in sport. Basically a game, right? Like it's a game. And we might play matches in tennis. So during a match is divided into a couple different sections in tennis, right? I could be a little wrong. I don't watch a lot of tennis, but I do believe that a match is made up of a number of whatever these things are called. So a tennis match is made up of a number of, and I don't know how many they play. And there's an S in here, but whatever those little those little things are called. So I believe they play a number of these things, and then at the end the winner is whoever gets the most points, right? I believe that's how tennis works. Anyways, if you know the name of those portions of the match, let me know. Or if you think you have a guess as to what that is too, I will accept guesses as well. I think it's going to be a set. We play sets in tennis. So there are several sets in a tennis match. And they play several sets and then see who gets the points, and whoever gets the most points, is it the most points or the least points? Probably the most points wins in tennis. I'm just gonna put this in here because we don't really do trivia, but I think this is gonna be Brad Pitt. Do over. Oh, okay, yeah, so if you do something over again, that basically, well, yeah, it means to do it over again. Maybe to do it a second time or a third time, right? A third time or a fourth time, right? So we're looking, we want a word like that to talk about doing things over and over and over again, right? So to basically to whatever this word is, something to do it over and over again. I think that's what we mean by to do over. So to do it again. There's another way that we might use do over, although I don't know if you guys are gonna want to know that. I mean, maybe. But yeah, basically to do it again, maybe because you didn't do it right the first time. That's usually how we would why we would use this word. You would do something over again because you did not do it good. You did not do it very well the first time. To do something over. Anyways, I think this is gonna be repeat. So to repeat something means to do it over and over again. Just gonna put that in here. So repeat something, do it over again. But usually if you do something over again, like it says here, you do something because you didn't do it very well the first time. So you know, maybe you had some work you needed to do and then your boss didn't like it, so you had to do the work over again. You had to do it better the second time, right? I was gonna say though, there's another use of this word though, and that's what I was looking for, because we could also redo or do over a room, I should say, which just basically means to redecorate a space as well. So here, for example, we could also, this is like to do over. So to decorate a room or part of a house in a new way, right? So we plan to do over the kitchen next year. So we plan to remodel or redecorate the kitchen next year. So that could be another way that we can use do over, which is kind of a nice one to know. All right. So, oh, there's a lot of Scottish cities in here. If you know what the Scottish city is, let me know. See part of it here. Starts with an E, starts with a D, starts with an I. So if you think you know, put it in the chat. I am going to focus on other ones in the meantime. But, you know, I think you know, put it in here. Okay, maybe we can do this one. Or, let's do this one. Gooey. Gooey is a texture word. I'm gonna show you what something is when it is gooey. It is kind of like sticky, kind of runny. Apparently there is a hazelnut cocoa spread. Hazelnut is a nut. And it's kind of like this. Here we go. This is a, we can see here that how it, this is kind of liquidy, but it's kind of sticky. It's kind of I don't, not words today, but it's kind of gooey. Yeah, this is gooey. Viscous was the word I was thinking of. Viscous. So it's kind of has some substance to it, but it's not runny like water. So something gooey, something sticky. We're looking for a type of cheese that is typically also eaten gooey, so they kind of melt it a little bit. So a cheese that's gooey, and it's common sometimes to sort of heat it a little bit so it gets extra gooey. Yeah, typically it's like it's normal to kind of bake it. You would bake it a little bit and then maybe serve it with some nuts and some jam maybe or something like that. This stuff here, whatever we would call this cheese, if you think you know what it is called, put it in the chat. It starts with a B. I will give you that much. Starts with a B. And yeah, we can see how it is runny, gooey on the inside. Very common to have it with maybe cranberry or something, or some fruit. Anyways, this cheese is called brie. We're gonna spell it like this, B-R-I-E. So let me know, are you a fan of brie? Let me know in the chat if you are a fan of brie. I rather enjoy brie. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, not bad at all. So I like it. Let's see here. Great. I think we can do this one, this galloped. So we have an ED here, right? So we have an ED. So we know that this is the past form or maybe the past participle of a verb. So we are looking for the past form or the past participle of whatever this is, of this verb here. And gallop is actually something that a horse does. So a horse, you know, big animal, right? See if I can get a picture. Here we go. Looks like this horse is galloping, or actually this horse looks like it's definitely galloping because this is a racehorse. Here we can see that this horse is going very quickly. It is galloping very quickly, so it is moving very quickly. So basically, moved very quickly. On foot, basically. By foot. So we're looking for another verb that we could use here. And again, this horse is galloping or galloped in the past, right? So it went very, very quickly at a very fast pace. So we're looking for one of those words with that movement. So if you think you know, put it in the chat. I definitely like it. When you guys put in the chat. Anyways, I think this is gonna be ran. It ran very quickly. Alright. So galloped. The horse ran very quickly. So I'm gonna put this in here. See how that goes. And let's talk about grammar. So ADJ. I think we see this all the time because we are language learners, right? This is an abbreviation for adjective. And notice how the accent here is on adjective, because sometimes I hear adjective, but adjective. And we're looking for a modifier, so a word that modifies an adjective. So we know that an adjective modifies a noun, right? All right, yes. I'm so tired right now. Very tired. So an adjective modifies a noun, and then that would also, and then we would also have a word that would modify the adjective. Maybe a word like, you know, like the horse. The horse is very there you go. The horse is very fast, right? So here we go. So horse here, this is our noun, right? Fast is going to be our adjective, right? And then we have this modifier that is modifying the word fast, which is an adverb, right? So adverb is going to be our modifier, and since this is an abbreviation, let's put an abbreviation here. See how that goes. Small nails. I'm gonna put this S in here. I know what this is, but so some engines. An engine is a motor thing that makes a machine run, right? So an engine, a motor, a thing which makes a machine run, right? Or operate, basically. Right? Basically. So some of them run off of gas, for example, right? But there is another type of fuel which some engines use. There's electric as well too, but I think this here is going to be the name. Basically the name of a type of fuel which an engine uses, right? So you have some gas-powered engines, sometimes maybe electric engines or an electric motor. I like one more that I'm thinking of, and it starts with a D. Oops, a D, I believe. So let's put a D in here. You think you know what it is? In the chat. I think you know. The type of fossil fuel, right? Type of fossil fuel. different from petrol, I just say, so I called it gas, right? But depending on where you are in the world, you might also call it petrol, right? And this would be a type of fuel you would get at a gas station as well. So it is very common for a lot of the big, like large trucks to use this, actually. Anyways, so I think this word is actually going to be diesel. So some engines are diesel engines. I guess diesels. Yeah, so diesel engines, like we can see here in the picture. In a way, informally. Yeah, I see what this is. This is a little bit of a slang. This is a little bit of slang. Yeah, a little bit of slang. We might use this word to say that something is, to describe something in an approximate way, okay? So we use this word, whatever, or actually here. Maybe I'll do like the full word first. We'll do the full phrase, so 2 words, and then we'll talk about the informal sort of slang way that we might write it, which is gonna be our answer. But here, this is sort of a this is a phrase that we use. A phrase used to approximately describe something. So instead of, you know, describing something in a very specific way, we might do it a little bit more generally, similar to saying that, you know, it was kind of a purple color. So similar to that, right? We're saying that it wasn't exactly a purple color, but it was similar to a purple color, right? So there are a couple phrases that we might use, and I think this one is going to be one like that. So if you think you have an idea and what that is going to be like, put it in the chat. So I think this is going to be sort of. So sort of. So similar to kind of, but sort of. And if we were talking informally, or if we were typing as well too, because people love to type sort of informally on the internet, we might type it as sorta, because that's what it sounds like when we are speaking really quickly, when we're using connected speech, right? We tend not to say sort of, but we would say sorta. So it was sort of purple, Similarly, we would also say kinda. That is also popular. It was kinda purple. It was kinda dark. It was kinda cold. It was sorta cold. So I believe that is going to be the answer here. Alright. And another Scottish city. Well, I think this is going to be Inverness. Plunk some of these in, and I think this is going to be Eden. Or did I spell that right? I don't think I spelled that right, though. I'm going to check really quickly. Edinburgh. Eden? Is that right? I think so. No, maybe it's not. Alright, we'll go back to it. My knowledge of Scotland geography is a little bit limited, but we can go back to this. If you know it, put it in the chat. Help me out. Thick set, not sure. Ordinary. Something ordinary. Something ordinary is not very different. It's not very exceptional, right? Something ordinary is, you know, not exceptional. It's not special or different, right? It's very plain or I just said it. Or regular, maybe. So we're looking for a word. Obviously, it starts with N here. But another way to describe that is something is kind of basic, really. Not really anything super special about it. Or maybe it hasn't been altered or modified in any way. If you think you have an idea. No. Do you think you have an idea? Let me know. And if not, because I don't think anybody is playing. I don't think anybody is going to play, which is fine. This is my fault. I did not advertise. I did not advertise what I'm doing this weekend. So this is entirely my fault. And I did not put up the little stream things. But that's fine. I think that this answer is going to be normal. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'll give this like 15 more minutes. And then I think I'm gonna go. I'll just finish it up really quickly. So normal. I think that's gonna be normal. Thick. Set. I think we're talking about thick set. I think we're talking about like somebody's build. And when I say somebody's build, I mean like how their body is. Right? Some people are very thin, right? So they might be very thin, or maybe they might be very bony as well. Other people might be very athletic, right? Muscular or athletic. Also, some people might be rather, you know, overweight. Maybe they're very pudgy. I'm probably kind of on that side. But there's one word that we might use if somebody is kind of very thick. So maybe they're maybe sort of on the short side and a little bit thicker, maybe. So I'm trying to get a picture here. Maybe something like this here. They're not necessarily overweight by any means, right? But kind of, you know, there's a lot of mass there. So we're basically looking for a word to describe this. S-T-O something. So a word to describe this thick body we have here might be stocky. So we might say that he was rather stocky, or he had a stocky body. That would mean that they're kind of thicker like that. So I think that's what that's gonna be here. Effortless. So something effortless. Doesn't take a lot of effort to do something, right? You can see the word effort. In here, we can see this suffix, probably suffix meaning, you know, it doesn't need any of effort, right? So if something doesn't take any effort whatsoever, we might say that it is easy. It's a very easy, effortless. I'm gonna put that here. Easy, effortless. I think that's what this is gonna be. Opposite of sans. This is a French one. Sans means without, right? This is gonna be avec, with. Here, peril. Peril is a great word. Kind of a word that we don't see too often, but it's a good one. It means that something is of great danger, basically. So peril, great danger. And it is a noun as well. So peril is a noun. So we're basically looking for another word that might also refer to there being a lot of danger, huge amounts of danger. So, or something is, could be dangerous, or more like there is a huge possibility of something bad happening. So the possibility of something bad happening. Just like peril. Peril, we might say that there is risk, right? So risk is that possibility or probability of something bad happening. Well, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get a picture of this one really quickly. This lipstick slip, an error, basically. Basically where maybe we, you know, smudge the makeup, right? Kind of here in this picture, you can see, we might call that streak there. We might call that a smear. Oh, I'm gonna put that here. And I think I'm gonna go because nobody's playing, and that's fine. And I'm really tired because I've been here all day. I have like classes and work all day, and I'm really tired. And I was up really late last night. So I will be back next week, though. I will be back next week at the same time. I will advertise it better. Try to get the word out that I am back trying to do these crosswords again. It does seem that maybe more people are around at this hour than in the morning, which is really exciting because I actually do prefer doing things at night. But anyways, thanks so much for everybody who did come out, who did check it out and watch. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 1300 UTC. I'm going to be doing a live lesson related to the cost of streaming article that I checked out last time. So you're more than welcome to come and join me for that tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping I have some fun things to check out. And I hope you all have a really good evening. All right. So if you found this video helpful, if you find this activity helpful, please give it a like, consider subscribing to the channel, following me on Facebook as well so you don't miss any future streams. Actually, Telegram is probably the best place to hang out to find out what I'm doing because I update that the most. And anyways, I hope you all have a really good night. Okay. All right, bye everybody.